Hey everybody, this is Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. Woo, doggy, we got our work cut out for us today. I think I deserve a trophy for showing up with these dark circles, y'all. I'm gonna be using a high-end brown foundation on one side of my face. This is NARS, the Sheer Glow formula, in the shade Santa Fe Puppies. The other side, we're gonna use Infallible Pro Glow in the shade Creamy Natural. I'm gonna use e.l.f. Whoa Glow sunscreen and primer as a base. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on real fast. This is what I use for sunscreen most days, but you also can wear it under your foundation for a primer. I am not playing with these dark circles today, so I am gonna grab this orange correcting concealer from my Stila palette, and I am gonna lay that stuff down. Next up, let's get some green color correcting concealer, and we're gonna put it all over that nose and cancel the redness. And right now, I would consider this the transition phase. It's so beautiful. Okay, all right, you know what? Sometimes a little gloss makes a girl feel better, so I grabbed my NYX Butter Gloss in Madeleine, and I noticed a couple little whiskers there. If you guys think I'm playing around about being totally transparent, I'm plucking whiskers. You know why? Because I know that most, if not all of you, have had to deal with that, so I know you can relate. Alrighty, I'm going in on one side of the face with the L'Oreal Pro Glow. I'm gonna start by covering up the orange correcting concealer. It's kind of amazing how easy it is to cover up such a bold correcting color there. So you don't have to be scared when you use it, because it definitely covers. Gonna get a little bit more foundation there and work it in. In here with a damp beauty sponge to continue to sheer that out a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and apply the foundation on the rest of my face on this side using an IT Cosmetics foundation brush. I try to pat it on more than brush it on if I can. I'm sitting in front of a window and the sun is blaring in and it's really hot and it's a little bit miserable. So y'all, I'm gonna have to break down and get some good lighting. Finishing up the application with a damp beauty sponge. Shears it out really nicely. Okay, picking up the NARS and gonna go ahead and cover the correction under my eye. Picking up the damp beauty sponge and shearing it out, blending it a little bit better. Okay, applying that NARS foundation over the rest of my face. I like to use my fingers to blend this foundation initially, and then I will go in with a brush and a beauty sponge to finish off the application. Okay, now I'm comparing the NARS side to the L'Oreal side. The price for the NARS is around, I think, $40, and the L'Oreal Pro Glow is around $10, I think. So, you know, the NARS is obviously a high end, and I wanted to give the L'Oreal a better chance to compete. I felt like maybe I needed to add more. Maybe I didn't use as much as I did with the NARS. So let's see if adding more will give better coverage and see if it can stand up better to that NARS foundation. Okay, I'm going in with the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. It's a higher end product, but I don't have a good low end concealer for my eyes, so I have to use this on both sides. Warming it up in my fingers, tapping it on in there. I'm going to go ahead and try to sheer that a little bit more with my concealer brush. Here's a little bit better close-up of what it's looking like under my eyes. Even though the light that I'm using is coming from the outside, it's a natural light. It's not that great and it's inconsistent, but that's what we're working with right now. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start contouring my nose, just speed it up real fast in little pieces, and then we will move on to the next thing. Okay, nose contoured, all the color corrections done, foundation's on. Now we're gonna go in with this beautiful blush called Illuminoso. It's a baked blush by Milani, and I really like it. It gives a really fresh color to the face. I'm using an angled brush here by Bestope. I like it because it sort of hugs your cheek. I'm going into the apples of the cheek. I'm deprogramming after years of being brainwashed, thinking that I couldn't put it on the apples of my cheeks because that might age me, that I should be using it higher up on my temples. It's not true, it's not true. This is a Farmasi foundation brush. It comes from their professional collection. I'm using it because it's firm and it blends really well. It doesn't blend so much that it takes it off, but it just sort of melts it in there a little bit better. I'm not using setting powder today, folks. I'm gonna go in with Urban Decay setting spray, and I'm gonna see how this tests out. Well, here we are an hour later. I walked by the mirror and I said, oh no, 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 no. I'm gonna get out some setting powder. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I went ahead and set my face with some Fiera setting powder. Under my eyes, my concealer was starting to crease, so it was an emergency. I don't feel bad for caving. I decided that I would cheat a little more because I forgot to add bronzer, and people, I gotta have my bronzer. This is Laura Geller's Bake, Bronze, and Brighten in the shade medium, and it's lovely. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this here, and we'll move on to the next phase of this test. So I decided to leave it on for a few hours, and I wanted to go for a walk outside and see if I could get a good sweat going and see how it went, but my plans were foiled by a huge downpour, so that didn't work. But I went ahead and looked at my makeup through the same window where I put it on this morning, and I can't tell the difference, honestly, between either side for foundation. My under eye dark circles are back, not as bad as they were earlier, but that concealer didn't last very long, nor did the foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on for a few more hours, and we'll have another check-in and see how ultimately everything held up. Recording from my car. I wouldn't be a YouTuber if I didn't do some kind of content from my car, you know. And I'm looking at it in a different light. Of course, I can't see a darn thing without my glasses. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so rainy. It's just raining. I'll have to look at this in a minute and see. Ugh, gotta love the gray hair. Y'all have it, you know you do. Alrighty. Well, there's really no more light outside, and I don't have a professional studio, so I can't be consistent, so I'm in the vanity light. Let's have a look. So this side was NARS, this side was L'Oreal Pro Glow, and I used Bye Bye Under Eye under each eye, as well as orange concealer. Then I set it with a setting spray, but a girl's got to have some setting powder if they've got a bunch of, you know. So anyhow, this is the 6.5 hour check-in. I left earlier and I was out in the rain and it was very humid, so I can't see because I don't have my glasses on, but I'm gonna venture to say that L'Oreal kept up great with the NARS. Initially, the NARS goes on nicer and creamier and covers better, but and I guess if I had to choose which performed better, I'm gonna go ahead and say the NARS did, but not by much. That L'Oreal Pro Glow, it's good. And the Urban Decay setting spray, you know, that stuff works great. It's called Chill, and it sets your makeup and it's really refreshing. And if you don't want to use a lot of powder, I would recommend using that, but I needed powder because my lines were just, and also I was creasing under my concealer. So let's have another look here. Not a bad makeup day overall, especially how I started out.